Denver leads the series. It's a critical game 2 for the Dallas Mavericks. In game 1 on Sunday, the Mavs turned it over 20 times, leading to 25 points for the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets have won 14 in a row here at the Pepsi Center overall, dating all the way back to March 9th. It's the Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets getting set for game 2. Matt Devlin alongside the coach, PJ Carlissimo. And coach, on Sunday, game 1, a dominant fourth quarter performance by the Denver Nuggets.
Dallas did a very good job. They hung in. They're down 4 with less than 10 minutes to go. And as has become the custom for Denver, an 11-0 surge. They blew them out of the building. You mentioned 4 straight home playoff wins, all by 20 points a game.
All right, time now for the McDonald's starting lineups. And Rick Carlisle, a change in the starting lineup.
Well, he wants them to be more physical, more aggressive. That means Antoine Wright instead of J.J. Barea. He also hopes that J.J. Barea will get the bench producing more the way they did in the regular season.
All right, time to bring in Marty Snyder. Marty?
Good evening, gentlemen. Game 1 not very kind to the Mavericks in terms of the loss or in terms of injuries. Real quick update for this game. Just talked to Eric Dampier moments ago. He told me that his ankle is still hurting. It's the left ankle that's bothering him. He said he's about 90%. But the big concern is Josh Howard. He told me he's 70% and probably playing in the most pain he's ever played in his career. Both ankles are taped up very heavily. Both ankles actually also have a brace. The left one's been bothering him all year, but he rolled the right one in game 1. Big question tonight, guys. How much will the Mavericks get out of Josh Howard? Could be a game decider, Matt.
Well, 13 of his 15, PJ, in the first half. And during the regular season as well as the postseason, when he scores 20 or more points, this is a Dallas Mavericks team that is 18-4.
Well, they need Josh as their third scorer. And perhaps as importantly, Matt, they need him to defend Carmelo Anthony. When he was not in the game, it was too easy for Carmelo Anthony on the other end of the floor.
Rick Carlisle telling us that they need to be more physical at the start, and then they need that energy off of the bench, specifically Jet, Jason Terry, and J.J. Barea.
Well, they need the energy off the bench, but I'm sure he'd take the same first quarter start that they had on Sunday. They dominated Denver in the first quarter. Denver wears you down. It's the attrition over the course of the game.
Mavericks won that first quarter 24-16. Our 3 officials here getting set for game number 2. Monty McCutcheon in his 15th season, and Mike Callahan in his 19th, and Ed Malloy in his 7th.
Mike Callahan says Eric Dampier stole the tap, so it's going to be Denver ball.
Dante Jones to trigger it in. A defensive specialist for the Denver Nuggets. And the Nuggets starting out in the half court. And the Dallas Mavericks want to play more with that set D. Nene, who was spectacular in game 1 in the first half, had 18 of his career best playoff performance, 24 in the first 2 quarters.
And 8 of them were off quick pick and roll plays, just like that one, Matt.
Kidd, characteristically with 8 turnovers in game 1, 4 in the fourth quarter. Here's Josh Howard, Dante Jones on him. Air ball saved by Dampier. Shot clock down to 5. Howard in trouble. Sends it out to the wing, and the 3 is good for Antoine Wright. And Wright during the regular season just 1 of 15 against Denver.
Not exactly a textbook offensive possession, but the result is 3 points.
And Dallas with the early lead. Carmelo Anthony, boy, was he in the flow in the fourth quarter.
Well, he really got it going. And again, the foul trouble hindered him. He spent a lot of the time on the bench, but when they needed to close the game out, Carmelo was up to the task.
Kidd with Chauncey Billups on him. Kenyon Martin plugging Dirk Nowitzki. Spin move. Nowitzki with the finger roll. Kenyon Martin. That technical foul that he committed at the 5:57 mark of the first quarter in game 1 upgraded to a flagrant one, so they take away the technical and then in addition a $25,000 fine. Stripped away. Here's Kidd, doesn't have the numbers, pulls it back out. Dante Jones now on Nowitzki. Martin doesn't dig in. Dante Jones strips it away.
A lot of contact.
Numbers for Denver. And Melo blows the layup. Mavericks lead here early, 5-2. In the opening minutes of game 2, Dirk Nowitzki.
3 different possessions, 3 different people guarding Dirk Nowitzki. It was Nene one possession, Kenyon Martin another, and Dante Jones on the switch. No problem for Dirk.
Game 1 started 5 of 5, had 10 points and 13 of the first 17 for Dallas as Nene gets going down low on the block.
Picking up right where he left off with a 24-point performance on Sunday.
Antoine Wright in a foul.
You see the initial time Dirk Nowitzki gets the ball. He's got Kenyon Martin. Beautiful drop step, simple layup, finishing. Second time was a pick and roll. They got the switch. Officials really let Dante get away with the little, and then he pulled the chair away. Dirk stumbled and couldn't finish.
Antoine Wright started the first 2 games in the first-round series against San Antonio, but J.J. Barea just caused such an issue for San Antonio that he ended up starting, and that carried through game 1 here in the second round.
Well, I think Rick liked the matchups better then, and he went with it in the first game here. But Antoine Wright started 53 games in the regular season, and it's probably a better matchup. I think he also likes the idea of Barea and Jason Terry playing together off the bench.
Antoine Wright in his 4th year out of Texas A&M, 6'7". Providing that size, and a whistle and a foul. Manu McCutcheon with a whistle. And a foul on Josh Howard, and that is his first. George Carlisle, you know, he told us when we spoke to him yesterday at a practice that, you know, he really expected Dallas to come out with a ton of intensity and anger and hatred like it was a game 7.
Well, that's your normal game 2 response. You know, you can never match that desperation. I think if the 2 teams are relatively equal, and these teams are, the emotional advantage goes to the team who loses the first game.
George Karl, that is, with Carlisle at the other bench as Dante Jones comes away with it and sends it to Billups. Here's Billups. It's a 3. Shot doesn't go. Quiet game 1 for Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, well, of course, the standard that he set in the New Orleans series was going to be difficult to duplicate.
Yeah, a little bit tough, right?
Chauncey Billups is about winning. As long as they're winning, he's not going to be concerned with the points or any other factor. Dirk with the ball again. You see Kenyon Martin, even though he's not playing him, sitting right there. That forces Dirk to turn toward the baseline. Took away one of his 2 options.
Dirk just picked up a foul, his first. Denver 2 of 6 to start. And a travel and a turnover, the second turnover for Denver. Josh Howard, shot short. And here's Billups. Sends it ahead quickly. Dante Jones flying through the rim. Nowitzki clears it.
Denver's missed a couple of very easy shots in transition.
A 3 attempt. Right shot, no. And reaching in, and a foul.
It's disjointed early, Matt. Both teams struggling to get a foothold. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well.
7:52 remaining here in this opening quarter at the Pepsi Center. Chauncey Billups in game 1 had 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting. And a whistle and a foul on Jason Kidd as we send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, Coach was just talking about the emotion that Coach Carl was telling his guys about. And here was his speech yesterday. Gentlemen, tonight will be the hardest Dallas will play unless there's a game 7 in the series. I can promise you they'll come out with whatever edge, anger, or confrontation they may have. Game 2, as you mentioned, Coach, traditionally when the guys come in off the road and they steal this game, we must guard against that. George Karl doing everything he could yesterday and today to get his guys ready emotionally to play the Mavs tonight.
Chauncey Billups certainly helps in that category. As you said, I mean, he is a flat-out winner in Game 1 and Game 2 against New Orleans. Had a combined 67 points in those 2 games.
He's been in so many situations. He understands the psychology and how it changes from game to game. Dallas in a little bit of trouble with 4 team fouls already. Still 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Neither team shooting well. Denver just 2 of 7, while the Mavericks are 3 of 8. And a turnover. And Dallas turns it over. That's their second turnover.
But the good news, that's a dead ball turnover. Denver's got to inbound the ball. When you turn it over live against them, that just ignites their fast break.
Nene asking for it in the post. Now comes out high, slips again underneath. Jones, 3 doesn't go.
2-3 zone by Dallas. I think that's Rick Carlisle's response to the 4 quick team fouls.
Nowitzki, spin move, and a foul on Kenyon Martin. Dirk Nowitzki will head to the free throw line as Martin picks up the foul. And that is his second, and that means it's time for the Birdman. Chris Anderson checking in. Anderson in Game 1, what a factor off of the bench. Tying his playoff career high with 11 points, 6 rebounds. One of the keys for the Dallas Mavericks is getting to the free throw line. You go back to Game 1, just 9 of 13, while Denver, PJ, 25 of 36.
Well, it was a little bit one-sided in Game 1, but historically, you look at the Denver Nuggets, they're #1 in the league getting to the free throw line 30 times a game in the regular season. They're averaging those same 30 attempts in the postseason. Dallas, not a good team. They only attempt 22 free throws a game. So you're going to get a discrepancy, certainly not as much as you had in Game 1. Rick Carlisle hopes.
Anderson looks to save it out of bounds, and another turnover by the Denver Nuggets. Slow start for Denver, just 2 of 8. And their third turnover here with 6:34 remaining in this quarter.
Game is sloppy, there's no question. Both teams struggling to execute.
Howard sends it back to Kidd. Howard, baseline curl, trying to get separation. Anderson on Nowitzki. A fake drive, Nowitzki to the hole. And a foul on Chris Anderson. Birdman picks up his first. Nowitzki back to the free throw line.
Another man, fresh body on Dirk Nowitzki. Doesn't seem to be any problem, just takes him right to the rack. Earns another trip to the free throw line.
So Nowitzki, who was 4 of 5 in Game 1 from the line, is now 3 of 3, 7 points, 7 of the Mavericks 11 points.
Dirk hasn't had trouble scoring against Denver all year. He averaged 30 points a game in the 4 regular season games. Got 28 the other night, had a 44 in this building back in January. So I don't think he's overly concerned with who's guarding him, despite what our distinguished colleagues in the studio
they were going off of the interview that Marty held with Dirk.
I don't think they listened closely enough to the interview. Dirk said that they're different types of defenders. Nene is physical. Birdman is long. He says his length is tougher to shoot over. Tougher for other people, not tougher for Dirk.
And then, of course, Kenyon Martin into the mix. So
physical,
you're disagreeing with Kenny, Charles, and Seaway.
Occasionally, very, very rarely. Much ado about nothing. Coaches sometimes say things that sound good, and you send a little message out. I think Dirk was just kind of shining them on, as Coach Popovich was fond of saying in San Antonio.
Being nice, is that all? 12-7. Dallas with the advantage as Nene is at the free throw line.
The jet on the floor for Dallas. Rick Carlisle talked to us before the game about his concern with the altitude here and matching the intensity and aggressiveness of Denver. I think you're going to see him subbing shorter rotations for his frontline guys.
And specifically for late in the game of the fourth quarter, J.R. Smith, the top 2 6 men, in the NBA on the floor. Jason Terry winning the award. Shot doesn't go. Smith taps it out. Here's Billups and a chance to run off of a miss. Billups pulls up over Kidd and it pops out. Nowitzki clears it. Denver's missed their last 5. Pardon me, BJ.
No, my fault. This is what Dallas wants to do. Rick felt there was too much walking it up the other day. Certainly too much taking the ball out of bounds. They need to play at a quicker tempo, get up and down the floor. So far, tempo's not perfect, but Rick...
All right, Coach, game 1 is done. What do we look for in game 2?
Dallas needs to take better care of the ball, Matt. 20 Dallas turnovers led to 25 transition points for the Denver Nuggets. Jason Kidd, 8 turnovers. Jason Terry, 4. They need to take better care of the ball. When they did turn it over, the transition defense was very poor. 29-4. Dallas needs to get out and run a little bit themselves. The bench, which carried Dallas in the regular season, basically non-existent in game 1. The Denver bench came up big.
J.R. Smith in game 1, 15 points, and Terry matching it.
Both of them with 15, but they were different type points. J.R.'s broke the game open. The bulk of his points broke the game open initially in the 3rd quarter, and then Dallas got back in the game. Jason Terry's been struggling a little bit in the playoffs. So far, JR's number is pretty much the same as the regular season. Jet about 6 points below what he averaged in the regular season.
J.R. Smith at 15.8 and Jason Terry at 13.7 points a game. And J.R. Smith attacking the rim and a foul. Neither team without a field goal now, PJ, in the last 4 minutes.
Well, at least Denver's getting, both teams doing a decent job getting to the free throw line. They're being aggressive. The truth is they've had more good looks than they had for a big chunk of the 4th quarter on Sunday. They're just not putting the ball in the basket. At least taking the ball in the basket is earning the trips to the line. Also building up some foul problems for Dallas.
Let's bring in Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, I think Coach over there would agree that at times J.R. Smith's shot selection is questionable at times, but Coach Carl's really given him a freedom because he knows he's one of those guys that can make 3 shots after he takes a questionable one. So he lets him have that freedom, and all the players say they've really let him have a little bit more freedom this year, Matt, and that's helped the offense.
Marty, he's got the ultimate green light. It's not quite a NASCAR green light, but it's pretty good.
Here's Carmelo, the strip and the dunk.
That's the problem when you turn the ball over live, particularly above the free throw line. Denver converts on the other end.
Terry, tough angle over Anderson. Carmelo with a rebound. Looks ahead, J.R. Smith. This is what Denver wants to do. Tied at 14. 6-0 run now by the Nuggets.
More importantly, they got the crowd juiced up. There's the turnover. Carmelo Anthony, easy finish on the other end. Rick Carlisle's seen enough. He needs to use his timeouts judiciously, keep this game from getting out of hand.
Stand there, but hey, I think in my 11 years, there's nothing I haven't seen. I think Birdman does a good job because he's so long, and he's so long. He can contest my shot, and Kmart and Nene are stronger, and they try to body me more. And Birdman is just long, and even when I shoot, he can still jump up there and contest the shot. So, yeah, they got three very good defenders on the big position.
And that's one of the things that George Karl, told us. He said we had 3 bigs that bring a different skill set.
You give them different looks. Anytime you're playing a great player, and Dirk Nowitzki is clearly a great player, you mix it up. You're not going to stop him. You want to show him different things. You just want to make him a little bit uncomfortable. If you show him the same look all the time, it's just too easy for the great players.
Out of the timeout, Jason Terry with a bucket, and Dirk Nowitzki getting some rest here with under 4:30 remaining in this 1st quarter.
So had his sneaker off. I don't know whether he retaped or just took an ankle brace off, but he did a little bit of work on that ankle.
Foul. As Carmelo Anthony goes up strong, he's going to head to the free throw line. And the second on Josh Howard here in the 1st quarter. Antoine Wright also with 2. Nowitzki and Dampier each with 1.
Denver's getting to the rim too easily. The reason they're at the free throw line so much is they're shooting layups, and Dallas left with really nothing to do other than the foul. There's way too many fouls, and it's way too easy. Most of Denver's shots are coming from in the paint.
And you go back to game one, 22 layups or dunks, and they were able to get out and go. And all that's created with the 20 turnovers that they forced.
The turnovers and the block shots, surprisingly, you'll see it at some point during this game. This team blocks a ton of shots, and unlike a lot of teams that just swat the ball out of bounds, Birdman also will do a good job keeping the ball in play, and that's also another way to generate some fast breaks. They score a lot of points in the paint, not traditional post-ups, but by running and slashing and taking the ball to the basket.
Josh Howard headed back to the locker room for the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, ankle injury, sprained his right ankle as James Singleton knocks down the open jumper in game one. And hampered throughout the course of the regular season with that left ankle injury. He was out for 24 games because of it. And whistle on the foul away from the basketball. And see Josh Howard headed back to the locker room.
Doesn't look like he's going to make a U-turn like Yao Ming did last night either, Matt. Looks like he's going to go in there and get some treatment. James Singleton comes in, gets an opportunity with Josh's injury, tries to provide a little bit of a lift, knocks down a shot, and then gets called for a quick foul on the baseline. Again, you have to adjust. When you're in the penalty, you can't continue to give him these easy points.
Singleton played just 4 minutes in game one. In his third year out of Murray State. And J.J. Barea checking in for the Dallas Mavericks with Terry, Kidd, Dampier, and Singleton on the floor for Dallas. J.R. Smith, Nene, Anderson, Carmelo Anthony, and Chauncey Billups on the floor for Denver.
J.R. Smith seems to have solved his free throw problems. He's a good free throw shooter. For some reason, he's really been struggling in the playoffs.
5 of 13 entering game two. Terry turns a corner in a hurry. Knocked away. Singleton jumper not there. And Nene tracks it down. Tied at 18. Here's Anderson, the Birdman.
Another shot from the paint. That one an easy dunk. Dallas just not doing a good job in the half court defensively.
Denver takes its first lead. Terry trying to use a Dampier screen. Does. Terry from the wing. Had a look and it didn't go.
There's no question with Nowitzki and Howard not in the game, Jason Terry feels he's got to provide the offense.
Terry quickly ahead. Driving on Billups, sends it back out, but right to J.R. Smith. Dampier's back. Smith to the hole, and a blocking foul on Dampier in the restricted area.
Well, he had good position. He's got to realize where he is. Careless turnover, J.R. pushes it. Chris Anderson sneaks in from the backside. Eric Dampier paying attention to the ball. Didn't see the Birdman flying in under the radar behind him.
Denver 10 of 11 now from the free throw line. They've made just 5 field goals. This is a team that offensively and defensively they have just been lights out during the postseason as Smith heads back to the free throw line and Dirk Nowitzki checks in and Dampier out. They're going smaller now.
Dirk, the biggest man in the game for Dallas. You mentioned him at 5 for 13 from Denver from the field. They can't score, but they're taking it to the basket. They've now got 12 points from the free throw line. We're still looking at 2.5 minutes in the first quarter.
And a 14-4 run now by the Nuggets since Denver led 14-8. Terry working with Nowitzki. Nowitzki, spin move at the rim, knocked away. Dallas gets back. Carmelo finds Nene, slips right behind J.J. Barea. 22nd timeout, Rick Carlisle.
It's only 24-18, Matt, but it feels a lot worse than that because of the way Denver's scoring, and they got their running game in gear.
Denver, and leading to this timeout, right here.
Dribble handoff into a pick and roll. Nene doesn't double team, just shows for a second and goes right back on Dirk Nowitzki. The good help is what caused him to miss the shot. He would have got to the rim, but a good help rotation right there. You sense what's in Rick Carlisle's mind right now. He knows this team is so explosive. You got to prevent them from stringing together long runs. You got to use all your timeouts. He actually lost 2 of the timeouts the other day. One when Eric Dampier got hurt, one when Josh Howard got hurt.
Nowitzki. Neneyana. Fading. Good. Dirk Nowitzki, 3 of 5, 10 points. Ending that run. 4-point game. But as you mentioned, going to break, it feels bigger. And Dirk Nowitzki, as Nene goes in, plus the foul, and you get this crowd engaged.
Well, A, the crowd is engaged, and B, every basket is right to the rim. Denver repeatedly just attacking the basket. All the shots are coming in the paint. Everybody's taking the ball to the rim. They're either finishing or they're back at the free throw line.
And that's where Nene is as we send it over to Marty with an update on Josh Howard. Marty?
Yeah, guys, more bad news for the Dallas Mavericks. Talked to Casey Smith, the trainer. Josh Howard in the locker room. He will stay there until at least halftime and be reevaluated at that point. The soreness is in his right ankle, the one that was turned in game 1. Questionable return right now, but again, they will reevaluate at halftime. He will not come out to the bench in this half.
Tough for Dallas to handle. In game 1, they led by 5, 26-21 when it went down. Nowitzki jumper not there, and when he returned, it was tied at 35. And from when he went out to when he returned, Nene went off.
Again, you miss him on both ends of the floor, Matt, not just the offense. He's their best defensive matchup against Carmelo Anthony.
And so significant in the first round against San Antonio. When Dirk and Jason Terry were down, Billups shot. Went down in numbers, that is, prior to game 5 in San Antonio. 6-point advantage for the Denver Nuggets with under a minute remaining here in this opening quarter. On the block, Dirk Nowitzki. Under 10 of the shot clock, backing down on the Birdman. Up fake, finger roll, no. Swatted away. Ryan Hollins sends it out to Barea. J.R. Smith on Nowitzki and a foul. A foul on the floor. No continuation.
Dirk recognizes anytime he's got a smaller defender on him, he'll put it on the floor, but he's very comfortable just staying where he is and shooting over. Anytime there's a switch, and Denver's a team that switches more than just about anybody in the league, he'll just shoot over them. When he's got a bigger, slower defender, someone like Nene, that's when he likes to take it to the rim.
Nowitzki has already matched his free throw total from game 1. He is 5 of 5. He was 4 of 5 in game 1. Foul was on J.R. Smith, his first, now perfect from the free throw line. In a 4-point game. 12-second differential, game clock, shot clock. Billups. And a foul on Ryan Hollins. Yeah, a great leaper, Ryan Hollins, brings a ton of energy, but you know, against Denver and their big, certainly a different matchup than San Antonio, as Chauncey Billups heads to the free throw line. This July, from executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer, as an undercover cop in LA, how far can you go without going over? Don't miss the new series premiere of Dark Blue this July only on TNT. Brandon Bass is in.
There's so much talk about the game being aggressive, the game being physical. I'm sure the referees wanted to control the game. But we've got 12 personal fouls against Dallas, 6 on the other end, 15. This is going to be the 16th free throw Denver's attempted. Dallas has already attempted 10. The players clearly have to adjust, but I think the referees got to adjust too. Got to let them play a little bit.
6-point game. 3-second differential. Barea up top, along with Bass, Terry, Nowitzki, and Singleton. Shot clock at 5. Berea driving, looking for Nowitzki, turns it over. Anderson to Smith. Dumps it underneath. Klaiza. Linus Klaiza lays it up and in.
Great decision by J.R. Smith.
Turnovers once again. 5 turnovers for Dallas, leading to 6 points.
That's a critical mistake by J.J. Berea. They got the ball with a chance to wind it down, get out maybe 4 points, and instead, another fast break. The crowd back in the game.
Well, we're going to have to, stay aggressive. He is done for the night, from what I'm told. Look, we're going to have to keep turnovers down and keep playing. This isn't the kind of start we wanted. We're just going to have to stick with it and keep battling.
With him being done for the night, does that worry you more on the offensive end or the defensive end?
Well, hey, if he's done, we got to look to other guys, So we got a lot of other guys that have stepped up during the year, and they're going to have to do it now.
There you go, a little news. Josh Howard done for the night, Matt.
Well, as important as Josh Howard is, you have to look at what he's done. He's played 6 minutes, 20 seconds tonight. He's 0 for 3 and hasn't scored. Rick's more concerned with the other problems. 5 turnovers for 6 points. They're headed for another disaster on points off turnovers. 14-2 points in the paint. Denver's living at the rim. That's a major concern for Dallas.
Yeah, biggest concern, Josh Howard. And Rick Carlisle saying that as far as he knows, he is done for the night. That is major. They need him, and one of the keys to that stretch down the end of the regular season for the Dallas Mavericks and their success against San Antonio was because of Josh Howard, as Jason Terry knocks it down.
2-3 zone again by Dallas.
Billups trying to get around. Nowitzki fires a 3. Kept up, kept alive by Anderson. J.R. Smith, the bird.
Always difficult in the zone to get matched up, find somebody to box out. So many three-point shots are the result of offensive rebounds.
They first made 3 of the night, shooting 47% in the postseason from downtown. Nowitzki with a slashing pass, who ducked right into the lane and was able to get it to fall through. 7-point game.
Quick double team by Denver. As soon as Dirk Nowitzki saw that, he found Brandon Bass at the dotted line.
Carmelo, Billups, Klaiza, Smith, and Anderson. What a find! Billups to the Birdman.
Different defense, same result. Easy trips for Denver.
35-26. J.J. Berea driving. And a foul's going to be charged to Chris Anderson.
Chauncey Billups with the dribble penetration against the zone. Brings the back line up. Chris Anderson moving without the ball behind the defense. Easy finish.
His second. Chauncey Billups checks out. Anthony Carter in. Carter had a total of 3 points in the first round against New Orleans. In game 1, he had 12 points. What a significant piece to the bench he was.
Well, the points is a big plus. He's really in there to push the fast break. Provide defense. Dirk with another good high-low pass. Dirk Nowitzki drawing help, finds the open man underneath the rim.
Smith, the 3, spills out. Birdman with a putback.
They better put a body on the Bird.
That's tough to do.
You're right, Birds are little. Difficult to box out Birds.
Berea turns the corner on Anderson. Singleton, the 3.
Very good three-point shooter, 35% career, shot the 3 very well during his days as a Los Angeles Clipper.
2 of 3, has 5 points off of the bench for Dallas. 6-point game, and Carmelo Anthony and Singleton get tangled up in a foul on James Singleton.
Offensive rebounding is a knack. You got to move before it hits the rim. Very few people do it better than the Bird. Can't stand and wait. You have to move, sense which side it's coming from, and get there. That makes it very difficult to box out.
Singleton, his second. Linus Klaiza too strong, but then another offensive rebound.
Dallas playing without a big man. Dirk Nowitzki really a power forward playing center.
Plays it, gives it up. Here's Carmelo. Has it stripped away by Singleton. And with 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock, we Denver basketball game 2. Western Conference semifinals. Denver leads 37-31 here at the Pepsi Center. Matt Devlin, PJ Carlissimo, Marty Snyder. Singleton loses his headband. Now picks it up off the floor. Carmelo fires over Singleton. Shot no. Bass comes down with a rebound.
A rare defensive rebound for Dallas.
Barea. Nowitzki drives right to the hole on Linus Glazer.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, the most surprising thing to me is you look up at the scoreboard, it doesn't feel like only a 4-point game.
Nowitzki gets the stop there. Dallas 5 of 5 in the quarter. Singleton misses at the rim. Costly. Smith. Got it. J.R. Smith.
5-point play. A dunk in transition. Singleton can't finish. 3-point shot the other way for J.R. Smith.
14 points in 10 minutes of action. Going to the rim is J.J. Barea as he attacks. And a foul. The bench outstanding in game number 1 with 38 points. And already here tonight in the first half with 20. Performance of J.J. Redick in for the injured Courtney Lee over the last 2 games. 27 points in 7 of 11 from downtown and perfect from the free throw line. Then out west in Los Angeles, Yao Ming goes down, bump knees with Kobe Bryant, goes in the back, stretches out, and he comes back. And what a heroic effort by Yao Ming. 28 points. He was 10 of 10 from the free throw line, had a double-double. And with the conference semifinals in full swing, you'll be able to see all the action on TNT and beyond. Here's what you'll see in the coming days on ESPN and ABC. Cleveland and Atlanta. And Cleveland, a dominant performance earlier in game 1 of this doubleheader. And Dirk Nowitzki, 14 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 6 of 6 from the free throw line as J.J. Barea heads to the free throw line. An issue now for George Karl. Chris Anderson has 3 personal fouls.
Chris Anderson has really been a catalyst for the Denver Nuggets. Also an issue, you mentioned Dirk. Rick Carlisle's got to decide how much he can afford to rest Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry. He needs those guys on the floor as much as possible, unless somebody else really steps up significantly.
Carter along with Kenyon Martin, Billups, Nene, and Smith for the Nuggets. Barea, Dampier, Terry, Bass, and Singleton on the floor for the Mavericks, and a turnover as Martin throws it away.
Good idea, poor execution.
4 turnover by the Nuggets. Barea drives to the hole. Well, pulls it back out. 6 on the shot clock. Bass posting up on Billups, fires over the smaller Billups.
Good recognition by Barea. He saw the mismatch underneath, went right to it.
Bass off of the bench has 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting. In game 1 was just 1 of 4. 2 points, 2 rebounds. They need more. Out of Brandon Bass during the regular season, averaged nearly 9 points a game. Nene strokes the J.
He's tough enough to cover underneath, and when he runs the floor, he starts making jump shots. You really have your work cut out.
Into double digits again with 10. Wide open shot. Terry can't get it to go. Billups to the trailing Smith. Steps into the 3, not there. Second chance opportunity once again for Denver.
Anthony Carter with the play. Smallest man on the floor for Denver. Taps it back.
Spin move. Billups dumps it off. Martin on the inside plus the foul. Bass commits the foul.
Chauncey Billups with the great look. Actually, it appeared as if he was stumbling, but he knew exactly where Kmart was.
So much said about Kenyon Martin and his foul on Dirk Nowitzki in game one. What is your take of what transpired? Upgrade from the technical to the flagrant plus the 25,000.
I think a good decision, a good play by Kmart. Dirk's 5 for 5. He's got 10 points. The game's 5 minutes old. Clearly he was sending a message. I thought it was deserving of a flagrant one. They didn't make the call during the game. No problem with that. Stu Jackson took the middle ground. He didn't go all the way to flagrant 2. It's a flagrant 1 with a little penalty on top of that. That's better for the Nuggets than a flagrant 2.
7-point game, 45-38. Berea has 3 points after the layup. Martin. How about that move? Kenyon Martin.
Again, a wise play. Instead of settling for the jump shot, which Kmart does sometimes, he took it all the way to the rim.
Berea wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Carter ahead, Nene, and Dampier commits the foul. That's Dampier's third.
This team runs just not on turnovers, but on block shots. Excellent block by Nene. Anthony Carter with the save. Here comes the fast break.
It's time for Cold Hard Facts presented by Coors Light. In Denver, first semifinal appearance since 1994 in NBA playoff ranks. PJ, they have been outstanding offensively as well as defense.
There's not enough room on the graphic to fit all the categories where they're first or second. They're dominating scoring points, field goal percentage, offense and defense. Obviously steals and turnovers forced, fast break points. They've completely dominated. They did dominate New Orleans. They got a leg up one game on dominating Dallas. Particularly in this building. They're so good in this building. Altitude plays a part, but they feed off the energy of the crowd and their bench play.
Last time in the Western Conference semifinals, 1994, they lost in 7 games to Utah. Their 8th appearance in the Western Conference semifinals. They have won twice. And they made 2 Western Conference Finals appearances. 1978, they lost in 6 games to Seattle. 1988, lost in 5 games to the Lakers.
In the last 5 years, Matt, they only won 4 playoff games. They did that in about a week this year.
And by a lot, like by 19.8 points per game. The find, Kidd to Ryan Hollins.
Head Dallas play coming after timeouts. When Ryan Hollins comes into the game, you have to mark that down. They love to run the lob over the top to him.
And Jason Terry, one of his biggest supporters, he said when we picked him up back on January 19th and Jason Kidd threw it up at the rim and he got that slam dunk, he said, whoa, we need more of that. We haven't had that around here. Berea driving.
J.J. Berea doing a good job getting to the rim, but he hasn't been able to finish.
9-point game. Billups with Martin, Nene, Smith, and Carter. Chauncey for 3.
Good job boxing out that time by Dallas. Plus it's a little easier when the Bird is on the bench.
With 3 personal fouls, Billups 0 of 5. Here's Jason Kidd, future Hall of Famer. Shot short. Hollins unable to grab it from Martin. Nene spins. Terry digs in, but Nene saves it to Carter. Nowitzki gives it up to Kidd.
AC's a streaky 3-point shooter, but that's probably not the shot Denver wanted.
Nowitzki left wide open.
Major mistake. You don't leave anybody with the ball, much less one of the best offensive players in the NBA.
Nowitzki was 16 on a 5 of 9 shooting, 6 of 6 from the line. AC Anthony Carter attacking. Comes back out. Martin corralled by Hollins. And Martin moves away as Nene steps in. Yeah, Hollins was just trying to hold him up.
He's just trying to hold him up.
I mean, there was no intent. Nene comes in, says something. You see Hollins with a push.
Officials talking about what they want to do. Looks like Eddie Malloy wants to call a technical. Two older officials talking to him.
Ed Malloy comes over to the official scores table. He is going to call a technical. And that is something that the Dallas Mavericks, a lot of people feel they lack. There's some of that aggressiveness, that physicalness that Denver provided, and Ryan Hollins there. It appeared that there was no.
I don't like the call.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough there to call it. Secondly, I think what he's come out with is a double technical. And you say, well, what's the big deal? This isn't the regular season. This is the playoffs. You get to 7 technicals, you're suspended for a game. Team like Denver, and I'm not saying Denver's even going to win this series, but let's just say Denver does advance. Now that's another technical foul for Denver. That's going to come back to you. Particularly as you go deeper in the playoffs, the emotion goes up. It's a totally different game in the conference finals or the NBA finals.
Double technical, Martin and Hollins.
Tries to finish, there's a foul. Helps him from falling down. End of the play. All right, little shove right there, fine. Obviously some woofing going on, but I think the refs have to show more discretion in laying out technicals, particularly the regular season harmless double technical, because it's not harmless in the playoffs.
The third in the playoffs for Kenyon Martin.
That's 3, almost halfway to 7, and we're in the second game of the second round.
Terry, the 3.
Badly needed. Jason Terry needs to come alive for Coach Rick Carlisle.
And George Karl said his concerns were the 3 ball and Jason Terry.
Three for a dime. Anthony Carter couldn't make it 3, couldn't finish the last one, goes at it again. Dallas, their 2-3 zone, so far they've not done a good job containing dribble penetration.
Nuggets dominant inside once again. Shot clock at 7. Wright gives it up to Hollins. A quick move inside by Ryan Hollins.
Not pretty, but effective.
Billups, the up fake. Sends it to Anthony. The 3-pointer pops out. The look underneath. And Nowitzki is fouled by Carmelo Anthony. With 2:16 remaining here in the second quarter, we send it over to Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, just one more story developing. Carmelo Anthony just came back into the game. He actually pulled himself out of the game in the second quarter because of stomach cramps. One more thing to watch for in an intense, fun game here in Denver with the Nuggets up 53-47 over the Mavs.
Earlier tonight, Cleveland all over Atlanta. 99-72. And the MVP with 34 points on 12 of 20 shooting, had 10 rebounds. And Joe Johnson limited to 11 points. Josh Smith had 22. And 17 Atlanta turnovers led to 23 Cleveland points. And Dirk at the free throw line, his first miss there, he's 6 of 7.
Well, he's seen an assortment. Others include probably 2 or 3 other people, but he's done a good job. 0 for 1 against Chris Anderson, but overall 5 for 9, 16 points, 5 rebounds. That's 8 for 8, I believe, from the free throw line right now.
7 of 8.
7 of 8.
17 points. How about this? Nowitzki is the only Dallas starter to score in the last 15 minutes. Dallas in the quarter, 11 of 16 from the field. Kidd comes away with it after the Martin miss.
Dallas doing a real good job hanging around. The primary reason, after 5 first-half turnovers, they've yet to turn it over in the second quarter, and Jason Terry finally coming alive for the Mavs.
And Ryan Hollins has been a factor as well, providing a little bit of a spark and a presence with 4 points and 3 rebounds in 6 minutes of action to go along with Terry's 9 points. J.R. Smith, Martin, Nene, and Billups and Anthony, and Terry, Nowitzki, Kidd, Hollins, and Wright on the floor for Dallas. 3-point game now, and Dirk and a foul. Let's send it down to E.J. in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Matt. Southwest Airlines game break coming up in just a few minutes. The T-Mobile halftime report. You're going to get analysis from Chris Webber and Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley. We'll have highlights of tonight's series opener in Cleveland between the Hawks and Cavs, and later a complete wrap-up on Inside the NBA. Now we head back to the Pepsi Center. Matt?
All right, thank you very much, E.J. Nene at the foul line makes it a 4-point game. I wonder if we'll hear more about Dirk Nowitzki and him crediting and giving some nice words about the guys that are defending him, and you, of course, disagreeing with the.
Well, you've got a coach's mentality. My playing career didn't get beyond high school. You've got 3 guys sitting in the studio that all played in this
now
league.
you're backpedaling.
No, it's a different perspective. They're entitled to their opinion. Doesn't matter if it's incorrect.
Terry finds Hollins.
Big minute and a half for Dallas right now. They want to consolidate and just stay in touch. They're going to feel real good going in at halftime.
Oh, J.R. Smith, the response.
I think he was out of bounds, Matt. He's closer to us than he was to the 3-point line.
That ends a 10-3 run by Dallas. Smith coming off of the bench. Large numbers here in the first half with 17. Terry working with Hollins. Sends it to Nowitzki. Up fake. Terry swings it now. Kidd. Extra pass. In the corner. The 3 doesn't go for Wright. And J.R. Smith comes in and handles a rebound. J.R. Smith, 17 points on 6 shot attempts. And a foul. Mike Callahan blows the whistle. It's on Ryan Hollins. And Hollins, he'll use him in a hurry. That's his 4th.
The problem is not enough guys, but I like the officials have not called as many fouls in the second quarter. The players have adjusted. The officials have adjusted.
Conference semifinals continue tomorrow night right here on TNT. Orlando, Boston. Game 2 comes your way 8 o'clock Eastern. Magic lead 1 game to none over the defending champions. And Marv Albert and Reggie Miller have the call. And in the second game, of course, at the doubleheader, Houston and L.A. Kevin Harlan and Doug Collins bring you the action from Los Angeles.
Early for the big guns to be in must-win situations.
Oh, man. Houston Rockets last night. They get Ron Artest going offensively. Yao Ming and Aaron Brooks. Man, was he fantastic. Terry.
Big shot for Dallas. Denver can wind it down, pretty much take the last shot.
Smith with the ball. On their feet at the Pepsi Center. Fires it. Short. Leaving time now for Kidd. The 3. Got it. Jason Kidd.
Very, very poor decision by J.R. Smith.
Leaving time left. Grazing the front of the rim. Kidd times it out perfectly. And Denver had 1 foul to give. And here comes the future Hall of Famer.
He knew how much time was left. It's not really a definition of getting your feet set, but he got a good look at it.
And his first made field goal of the game as we send it over to Marty.
And let's talk to Carmelo Anthony. First of all, I saw you take yourself out in the second quarter. How much pain are you in right now?
A lot. I can't complain about it. I mean, I want to play, I'm going to play. My team need me. I'm going to go and stick it out.
When you look at the scoreboard, are you surprised you only had by 3 at half here?
Yeah, we made some, some stupid turnovers, some bad shots, some boneheaded plays on the defensive end. We got to buckle down the defensive end and get back to what we was doing in the first quarter.
And what do you have to say to your team? Things got a little chippy there for a while as one of the leaders.
We all right. It's the playoffs. We're used to it.
All right, Carmelo Anthony heading to the locker room. We're going to head to our Atlanta studios for the...
He's got LeBron in the back door. He had 12 in the third.
Mo Williams is big down the stretch.
LeBron.
Oh, my goodness.
34 points through 3 quarters.
Like you said, Chuck, when somebody comes at you full speed, what do? You just get the hell out of his way.
Mo from long range. He had 21 on 7 of 12, 4 out of 8 from the promised land. And the Cavaliers win game 1, 99-72.
The guys at the hotel, they won't be talking tomorrow.
Cavs now 43-2 at home.
They big Hawks fans. They were bragging after Miami. They're going to be quiet tomorrow at the hotel. That ain't right. I got the same thing going on in my hotel.
You have killed your own kind. The punishment is death.
I'm not a very good loser.
You have defied me for the last time.
Underworld Rise of the Lycans at a great low price, May 12th.
His reputation is expanding faster than the universe. He once had an awkward moment, just to see how it feels. He lives vicariously through himself. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
With Panasonic Viera, all your passions are enhanced. Plasmas with 600 Hz subfield drive produce crisp images for fast action. An iPod entertainment kit to play the music and videos you love. With VieraCast, bring exciting web entertainment into your living room. Enhance all your passions with Panasonic Viera HD TVs.
You know what this is? This is a miracle is what this is. 2 Popeyes Louisiana tenders with Delta sauce, a biscuit, and a side for just $2.99. A Louisiana tender meal for $2.99. Can you believe that price? These people are crazy.
Louisiana, fast!
Autotrader.com, we're changing the way people shop for new cars. Now, compare new cars from local dealers and find the best offers. It's one giant step for new car shoppers. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
Anthony by Philly.
Time for the T-Mobile close-up. J.R. Smith.
Tell you what, boy. If that kid can harness that talent, woo.
Yeah, he's got unbelievable talent.
Yes.
If he would have went to North Carolina like he had planned, he probably would have.
He's a sugarless candy.
You've been watching the T-Mobile Halftime Report. T-Mobile, official telecommunication partner of the NBA.
We are outnumbered by machines.
Who are you, John Connor?
What should I tell them when they find out you're gone?
I'll be back.
If we stay the course, we are dead! We are all dead!
If you're listening to this, you are the resistance. This is John Connor.
Terminator Salvation, rated PG-13.
Applebee's introduces Real Burgers. A real burger takes both hands. A real burger requires lots of napkins and sometimes a sleeve. A real burger is real at first bite. Introducing Real Burgers, only at Applebee's. Made fresh, slammed with flavor, and stacked high with the stuff you love most. Real fresh, real deal, real burgers. Get Real Burgers only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Hi there. Looks like you found your car insurance.
Yeah, but wow, it looks like you guys have everything.
We sure do. We help millions of people save. Look, we're #1 in motorcycle insurance, a leader in boat
an RV, and...
Oh, wait, let me guess. You're the #1 truck insurer.
Wow, first guess!
Nailed it.
Oh, you're psychic! What am I thinking of right now?
Tacos?
Yes! Helping you save money no matter what you drive. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Check out the new Domino's Spread Bowl pasta. It's pasta, right? And it comes in a bowl you can eat.
What? That's bowl murder.
Take it easy. It's a hot bread bowl, lightly seasoned with garlic and Italian spices. It's supposed to be eaten.
Look, they're tearing them apart like lions on wildebeest. Make it stop.
I'm getting hungry just looking at that pasta primavera.
Cannibal, I can't watch.
New Domino's Bread Bowl pasta. 5 tasty varieties all served in a hot, delicious bread bowl. Love the pasta, devour the bowl. Starting at only $5.99. Order it online and receive $1 off.
Denver by 3 as we get set for the second half here of Game 2 between the Dallas Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets. 58-55. Matt Devin alongside PJ Carlissimo. I thought you and Chuck were tight.
We were tight, but again, I don't know how Dirk did it. He managed to get 17 points after all the confidence he gave those Denver defenders. Great effort on his part.
A little bit of respect there. And a little jab there by PJ. All right, let's take a look at the Dos Equis game summary, and we'll get to that in just a moment as you take a look at the Dallas offense.
Well, everybody else had to pick up the slack, and they really did. 25 points off the bench in the second quarter. Josh Howard just wasn't right tonight, really couldn't move. You see the other players picking it up. Jason Terry with 7 points in the second quarter. Brandon Bass with 6. Ryan Hollins with 6. The bench did the job. Now can they do it for another 24 minutes?
58-55. Nowitzki with the ball. Martinano. Shot doesn't go. Billups along with Carmelo Anthony, Kenyon Martin, Nene, and Dante Jones to begin the second half. Carmelo Anthony
starting off exact way he did in the first half. Good look. He's going to make good looks all the time.
Turnovers a factor in game 1. 14 of the 20 came in the second half for Dallas. Didn't turn it over in the second quarter. Eric Dampier, his first 2.
Kenyon didn't want to get the quick foul there. Good pick and roll execution, but you made a good point. They had one good quarter on Sunday where they had 1 turnover in the first quarter. To go from 5 down to 0 in the second quarter, very telling.
Nene in traffic.
I don't know if Dan's ankle is bothering him or not, but he's got to do a much better job defensively against Nene than he's done in these first 2 games.
Nene 5 of 7 has 16. Terry starts the second half. Remember, no Josh Howard. Terry. And he's fouled going to the hole as we check in with Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt talked to Dallas coach Rick Carlisle. He told me he was very proud of the comeback, gave big credit to the bench, but he said, we don't make that comeback.
Their foul trouble. They were just fouling, and Denver was going to the rim every time in the first quarter. At least it limited their free throws.
Let's try to get on his good side now. I think that's telling Kenny Smith that he was right about that.
He was right about that. I didn't say he was right about Dirk.
62-58. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Dante Jones inbound the basketball. Carmelo, 5, now down to 4. Over Antoine Wright. Oh, what a tough shot for Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo was open when he first popped out of the stack. A little late getting him the ball, but as soon as he got it, he knew what he wanted to do.
Wright sends it to Nowitzki. Dante Jones on Dirk. Dirk backing down, and Dante Jones just backs off. Last touch by Dante Jones. 1 tick remaining on the shot clock.
It's the second time tonight Dante Jones has pulled a chair. He leans on Dirk, then he steps back. Charles, when he was a lot younger and lighter, used to do the same thing.
Throwing the zingers. Shot clock violation.
They got a good shot for 1 second. He just wasn't able to finish it.
Game 2 here at the Pepsi Center. Denver 4-0 in the playoffs here at home. They've won 14 in a row dating back to March 9th. The last team to beat them here, the Houston Rockets, 97-95. Dallas turning it over for the first time in 17 minutes, going back to that first quarter. And a turnover. And Martin turns it over.
There's Dante. Shades of Kevin McHale and Rick Mahorn. Pull the chair, just back up. Dirk was trying to back into him. He had no footing.
Pick and roll with Damp. Plus the foul. Eric Dampier will head to the free throw line. And a foul on Carmelo Anthony, his second.
A little bit of Denver's own medicine. Denver's been very successful rolling Nene to the basket, and he's finished every time. That time it was Eric Dampier rolling to the basket on the middle pick and roll with the finish and a chance for three.
65% during the postseason from the free throw line. And Damp, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Former player years at Golden State. Talking to him, had some nice things to say about you, PJ.
Damp's a good buddy. Damp's a good player. Dirk gets an open look right there, again, caused by the offensive free throw rebounding. Eric Dampier is one of those players that people always want to talk about what he can't do. He does enough good things to help his team be successful.
It's now a 2-point game. With Eric Dampier, 4 points. 9 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Billups, 0-5 from the field.
Want to post up Carmelo.
Double comes with Dirk. Martin.
I don't know how Kenyon makes that shot. Shoots that flat running jump shot, but he makes it way more than he misses.
Kenyon Martin, 9 points. 16 minutes of action. Terry has 10. Finds Nowitzki. Up fake on Kenyon Martin. Now backing him down. Spinning. Got it. What a shot, Dirk Nowitzki. 21 now for Dirk.
Well defended by Kenyon Martin that time. That's just a tough shot.
2-point game. Can Dallas get a stop?
Going back to Carmelo Anthony.
Over Antoine Wright, short Terry with the rebound. Nowitzki now with Dante Jones, and Jones will commit a foul on Dirk Nowitzki. That's his second.
Carmelo Anthony's a much better passer than he gets credit for. As soon as he saw the double team, finds Kenyon Martin in the middle of the floor. On the other end, the great offensive player, Dirk Nowitzki. That's really good pressure by Kenyon Martin. That's a very tough shot.
Terry fires over Dante Jones to tie it. It was last tied at 18.
George Karl talked about the resolve that he expected from Dallas tonight. We've seen that for these last 2 quarters.
With no Josh Howard. Billups! What a tie for his first made field goal from downtown.
Chauncey Billups senses when his team needs offense.
Terry got it back. Jason Terry ties it up once again at 69.
Jason Terry thinks his team always needs offense.
6th man of the year with 15 points. Dante Jones sends it out to Martin. Martin spinning. A nice move on Nowitzki.
No resistance at all from Dirk. That's Kenyon's pet move. He'll drive right or left. As soon as he meets resistance, he just spins into the layup.
A flash to the hole by Nowitzki. He has 23 now. And a steal. Kidd to Dirk. Shot no.
That would have probably been a Denver timeout right there from George Karl.
Kenyon Martin, the jumper. Too strong. Carmelo Anthony, offensive rebound. Knocked away. Billups trying to get the call, doesn't. Dante Jones driving in. And a foul's going to be charged to Jason Kidd. His second.
Here's Kenyon's move. He puts the ball on the floor very well for a big, and he loves that spin. Dirk actually anticipated the spin, but then got out of his way. He was already in the restraining area. He's got to dig his feet in.
Dante Jones signed to come here to be a defensive-minded player. Rex Chapman, Vice President of Player Personnel, had a long conversation with him about being able to stay in this league for a long time if he made his presence known on the defensive side. And it's exactly what he's done. In fact, Rex Chapman equated it to a player like David Wingate.
This is a tough-minded, aggressive defender, a confident guy. He's been a very useful starter for the Denver Nuggets.
And talking to Dante Jones, he realized that that was certainly a piece that the Denver Nuggets needed. And say going back to training camp, Kenyon Martin and he got into it a few times, taking some charges, and then they knew they were on the same page.
They're both kindred spirits right there, there's no question.
Nowitzki has it stripped away. Carmelo drives, knocked away by Wright.
Two good defensive plays on either end of the floor. Quick hands on one end by Kenyon Martin. Antoine Wright returns the favor on the opposite end.
Tied at 71, 5:45 to go here at the Pepsi Center in Game 2. Tied at 71, Dallas shooting 52%.
Well, they're doing a job on the field goals, but free throws the difference for Denver. But here's the big difference in the game. 35 bench points for the Dallas Mavericks after only getting 4 in the first quarter. They've really stepped alive. Fast break points again in favor of Denver. Dallas needs to run a little bit if they're going to stay in this game.
All right, let's send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, while we were out enjoying a little Italian last night, Dirk Nowitzki was doing what he always does on the road, shooting at a gym. He rented the University of Denver's gym, and that is his shooting coach. His coach from a long time ago, actually, when he was 14 years old, Holger Geschwindner. And he has been here since the playoffs started. Dirk calls it his favorite time of the year. They come and enjoy this time together. When he comes, he actually stays at Dirk's house. So I'm assuming, Matt, that we'll get to stay at PJ's house if we get to go to the Great Northwest, right?
Well, we certainly hope so, but as all that is going on, we're going to hold up play here, according to Monty McCutcheon coming over to our table. A disturbance in the crowd happening right across from the Dallas Maverick bench, and a lot of personnel are over there. A fan, involving a fan. Something taking place with a fan in the second row.
Both trainers were over there. First
Yes.
Casey Smith, then Jimmy Gillen. So you got to think possibly we had an injury involved.
People hovering around across from the bench of the Dallas Mavericks. And as they attend to this matter, 5:45 remaining in the third quarter, tied at 71. Personnel here at the Pepsi Center still attending to a fan. And we will step away and be back right after this. Information with regard to what held up this game, will certainly pass it along to you. It did involve a fan sitting across from the Dallas Mavericks bench. But we haven't gotten clarification as to what exactly it is. 5:39 remaining in the third. And a foul as Nene heads to the free throw line.
Prior to that, he headed to the basket. Every time they run a pick and roll, he's diving right to the rim. That time he met more resistance than he'd been meeting earlier. But Dallas going to have to address the way they're playing the pick and rolls when Nene's involved.
And PJ, the Nuggets still getting back to the free throw line. They're 21-28, and that was certainly a major factor in game 1.
Well, the best in the NBA added the regular season. They've been number 2 so far in the playoffs by a slight margin, but they're almost at their game average of 30. We're still looking at almost 18 more minutes of play.
Denver by 1, 72-71. Terry fires over. Nene gets the three, and it's the first lead for the Mavericks since they led 18-16 with 3:52 to go in the first quarter.
A lot of smaller guards would take a big man to the basket. Jet just goes back and fires the three.
And then Nene with the flush.
Nene likes playing against the Dallas Mavericks.
Kidd, the look inside the Dampier, pops out. Loose ball. Wright comes away with it.
Great look by Jason Kidd. Damp's got to finish.
Terry, too strong, and Jones quickly sends it to Billups.
Looking for Nene again.
Knocked away by Nowitzki. Wright sends it to Kidd.
Much better defense that time on the Dallas Mavericks.
Dirk Nowitzki driving and foul.
Jason Kidd barely had the ball in his hand. Picks it up. Doesn't even look. He sees Eric Dampier going to the basket. He's got to flush that shot. Jason Terry. Looks like a mismatch. No, I'm not going to take him to the basket. I'm going to shoot the three over the 6'11" defender.
Well, he can do that with Nowitzki now at the free throw line. Nowitzki with 24 points, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. And Dallas back up by 1 now, 75-74. What an effort by the Dallas Mavericks without Josh Howard.
No question, and you certainly hope that whatever the situation was, the injured person is going to be all right. But again, it gave Dallas a very long time out. Dallas is the team that really wants to make sure that they've got fresh players left at the end. They've got a very short bench tonight.
Carmelo finds Martin. Martin fouled by Dampier.
This is starting to look like the first quarter again, Matt. Everything going to the rim inside.
76-74. And Dampier picks up the foul as Kenyon Martin heads to the free throw line, and that is the 5th on Eric Dampier. And just receiving word that there was a woman, a fan, in the second row across from the Dallas Mavericks bench who needed medical attention, feeling faint. And so that's one of the reasons why the two trainers from both teams raced over there, as well as the medical personnel here.
Damp heads to the bench. Ryan Hollins really gave Dallas a lift in the second quarter. He's going to need to play some extended minutes here in the second half.
Denver has missed 5 of the last 6 free throws. And Martin puts an end to that. They are 23 of 31 from the free throw line, PJ.
Well, that's one of their problems. They're best in the league at getting to the line, but they're 20th in free throw percentage. Dallas conversely is number 2 in percentage, but they don't get to the line that much.
And 23 points at the free throw line during the regular season. Kidd with a turnover. J.R. Smith. What a factor in the first half. Gets a layup there. Has 19 points.
Rick Carlisle with the timeout, but Chauncey Billups with the heady play. If Jason Terry could have run the ball down, it would have been a backcourt violation. Chauncey Billups out-hustled him. That resulted in the 2 points. Ball's loose in the backcourt. If the offense had got to it, it would have been backcourt. Instead, it's 2 points for Denver and a timeout for Dallas.
TNT this July, grifter, hitter, hacker, thief, and the man with a plan.
There's a reason we work together.
Guten Tag.
French.
Leverage. New season premiere this July.
Only on TNT. We know drama.
Incredible. That is one of the greatest shots made in playoff history.
You gotta talk to one of those girls tonight. Okay, listen. Steve, you're an ex-bullfighter. Ben, you're a romance novel cover model.
I'm a plastic surgeon who only does pro bono burn work. And Josh, there's only 3 girls, so just be yourself.
Oh, doctor.
Captain Morgan, calling all captains. Drink responsible.
High-speed internet, ecstatic, happy, high-tech, automatic, fiber optic, flabbergasted, suddenly it's crazy faster. Friend edition, hip-hop, hipster, OMG, your profile picture, upload, download, films, games, music, pug dog pictures, power boosted, fastest flying, screaming, yelling, ROTF, LOLing, speeding forward, future hopping, always dreaming, never stopping, COMCAST.
We here at Brighton Ford are pretty proud of Ford Motor Company for fighting through these tough times and not seeking any government loans. With that being said, the quality of vehicles coming out of Detroit are once again the best in the world. The Ford Advantage plan lets you buy or lease a high-quality new Ford vehicle, and if you lose your job, Ford will pay your payments up to $700 a month for 12 months. Quality, credit, and payment protection, plus 0% financing. That's the Ford Advantage. Brighton Ford. Better deal, better dealership. BrightonFordColorado.com.
You're fine. There've been a lot of shots. We just got to get our defense woke up. We have our fourth quarter coming. We've been here before, so just get your heads up, get your confidence strong.
Denver with a 1-point advantage, 77-76 with 3:49 to go in the third quarter with the conference semifinals in full swing. You'll be able to see all the action on TNT and beyond. Game 2, Atlanta at Cleveland on ESPN and on ABC. Game 3, Cleveland at Atlanta on Saturday. And they feel comfortable and confident, do the Nuggets in the fourth quarter, but still 3:49 to go here in the third. And Chris Anderson, the Birdman, back in, picked up 3 fouls in the first half.
One area of concern for Rick Carlisle, that was the 3rd turnover so far this quarter for the Dallas Mavericks after no turnovers in the second quarter.
Ryan Hollins on the floor for Dallas. Here's Terry. And he is fouled. And the foul is going to be charged to J.R. Smith, his second.
Good execution out of the timeout. Jason Terry with a real good look in the lane.
Jason Terry, his 5th year in Dallas, 10th overall. And the free throw, the first, doesn't go. 88% during the regular season, 9 of 11 in the postseason. Entering game 2. He is 1 of 3, however, tonight from the line. Ties it at 77. 10 of his 19 here in the third quarter for Chet.
He's building to the fourth. He's always been a fourth quarter player. 7 points in the second, 10 so far in the third.
Carmelo Anthony, 3 not there. Hollins. Nowitzki fires over Anderson. Wright tries to keep it alive, can't. Billups, the leaner, gets the roll. Chauncey Billups. Loose ball foul.
Tough play. Chauncey Billups went in. They were trying to do a dribble handoff. Antoine Wright to Jason Kidd. Chauncey Billups jumped in between. I think if he hadn't fallen down, Monty McCutcheon wouldn't have blown the whistle. That's an aggressive play, but Jason Kidd sells it. The veteran gets to the free throw line.
Chauncey Billups picks up his first, and here's Kidd with that huge three-pointer at the end of the first half to make it a 3-point game at halftime. Of the first free throw, not good, and so getting to the line, but yet Dallas has missed 7 free throws, 15 to 22.
This is an 82% free throw shooting team. They can't afford misses.
Second best in the NBA during the regular season. Second is good. 1-point game. Chauncey Billups. Shot not there, and Kidd comes down with a rebound.
Chauncey looks like he's looking to take a bigger part of the offense right now.
J.R. Smith with the steal. He's been phenomenal tonight.
I thought I heard the foul from here. Jason Terry's really upset. Talking to the official, Eddie Malloy. That was a chop on his arm.
J.R. Smith with 21. Denver by 3. And 2 minutes remaining in the third. Terry. Off the dribble. Too strong. And knocked out of bounds by Hollins. And it's Nuggets basketball.
J.R. Smith real good at reaching from behind, coming up with a steal. I'm not sure he had all ball on that one.
Chauncey Billups, the three is good. Chauncey Billups. You mentioned it, wanted to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. The Colorado product.
He's clearly looking to do a little bit more. This shot just came to him. Wide open, he's got to shoot it, but I think he is being more aggressive. Rick Carlisle, it's like the little Dutch boy putting the finger in the dike. Every time they run 2, 4, 6 points, he wants to use another timeout. You only get so many.
10-2 run by Denver. This is game 2 from the Pepsi Center here in Denver, Colorado, with Denver on top. 84-78. They took game 1 on Sunday. And Dallas trying to get a split. Game 3 Saturday in Dallas.
A little reminiscent of game 1. Dallas hanging in, and then that spurt. One late third quarter and the killer early in the fourth quarter.
Pass on the floor now for Dallas. Terry finds Nowitzki, turns quickly, fires, count it. 27 now for Dirk Nowitzki.
Dallas has had the answer coming out of timeouts.
And Carmelo Anthony fouled by Antoine Wright. That's his third.
Carmelo Anthony was trying to post up. That's a post-up play for him before they even had a chance to look to post him up. Antoine Wright with the throwdown.
Chauncey Billups checks out Anthony Carter now. Carter, the runner. A teardrop.
AC doesn't hesitate. We watched him yesterday working with Coach Tim Gerbrich before practice, feeling much more confident offensively.
How about Denver in this third quarter? 12 of 16, 75%. Nowitzki posting up, plus the foul. Nowitzki goes to the line. 29 points now for Dirk, 12 here in the third quarter.
Dirk Nowitzki down under, uses the head fake to get Kenyon Martin up in the air. Dirk Nowitzki loves head fakes before the shot, after he dribbles, all the time. You have to stay on the ground against Dirk. Very difficult when he's that big and such an excellent shooter.
How about Dirk Nowitzki, 30 points, had 31 points in Game 5 against San Antonio, and 28 points in Game 1 against Denver, and has 30 here in Game 2.
We finished the regular season with 25 straight 20-plus games.
J.R. Smith off the mark with the three and right, gives it to Kidd.
See if Dallas can manipulate the clock and get the last shot here.
Slight differential. Shot clock down to 4. Stripped away by Martin. And 2 seconds now remaining on the shot clock. 4 seconds on the game clock.
Not the worst thing as long as they get the shot off and Denver doesn't get an attempt.
Here's Dirk. puts up the shot. Shot clock violation. 2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. .2 of a second. They put 0.2 of a second back on. Carmelo Anthony, almost.
Good look.
86-83, Denver by 3 at the end of 3 quarters. 12 minutes ago in Game 2, Western Conference semifinals. Denver looks to go 2-0. Dallas wants a split.
I faced one of the toughest challenges of my life right here. I couldn't swim, but I can still hear my drill instructor today. Don't quit. So I jumped in, apprehensive and scared out of my mind, but I came up a Marine.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
I'm liking that. You keep jacking stuff, you're gonna get fired, man. I wish they would. I'd be on Lion King. This is terrible discrimination.
When the right box is delivered to the wrong address.
Am I dreaming? Yes!
Boom. It's payback time.
You got it right. It ain't come here. We're gonna need more of these. Bingo.
This Friday, protect your package.
Damn! That's what I'm saying.
Donald Faison, Mike Epps, and Mos Def.
Can I say one thing? What? I like your outfit.
Next day air. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
So, what'd you think?
I like the car. Now, just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner. This car runs great. I promise.
Just show me the Carfax.
But it's a promise.
Carfax provides a vehicle history report so you could buy a used car with more confidence. Get it free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
There's a time and place for them. The time is never. You can figure out the place on your own. Stay thirsty, my friends.
So you've been doing a nice job out there helping people save money on car insurance.
Oh, thank you, sir.
But I think there are a few other things you can say about what a reliable company Geico is.
Right. Well, maybe our Geico's the third largest car insurance company in America. Nice tidbit there.
Exactly. And I've been thinking, looking a bit more businesslike might help too.
Oh, my. No, it's... What's the word?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Grilled chicken.
It's fantastic.
New Kentucky Grilled Chicken. It's marinated and grilled to perfection for that 5-star fall-off-the-bone taste. Now try new Kentucky Grilled Chicken in a 2-piece meal for just $3.99. Taste the unfried side of KFC.
The Hyundai Genesis was just named the 2009 North American Car of the Year. Well, la-dee-da, said the fraternal twin. The all-new 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Sibling rivalry is good.
Coach, you told us that you were expecting a Game 7 type effort from Dallas. You certainly got it, but getting a better shot maybe than you thought without Josh Howard in the game?
Well, right now they're playing an A game at the offensive end of the court, making a lot of shots. They know their backs are against the wall. I think our defense the last 3 or 4 minutes got a little better there. I think it's, hopefully it'll be a fourth quarter game like it's been a lot in our playoff adventures so far this year.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Matt?
All right, Marty. Well, Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Denver Nuggets, said after losing 5 straight years in the first round, enough of paying into the luxury tax, and they were able to get rid of Marcus Camby and then Chauncey Billups, and the rest has become history for the Denver Nuggets this year, tying a franchise record in wins. 54 here at home, 33-8. Last time they lost here, March 9th, and after 3 quarters, including the postseason, PJ. This is a Nuggets team, and we heard it earlier from George Karl about fourth quarter being the Nuggets' time. Well, they are 50-3 and leading after 3 quarters of play.
They certainly know how to close, particularly in this building. Carmelo Anthony looked like he had his mind made up that time when he was getting the ball, what he was going to do with it. But again, it's going to be interesting. Dallas had 5 turnovers in the third quarter. I really think if Dallas cannot turn the ball over, they can hang in. And whether they can, play 12 minutes in the atmosphere that's going to be here in this building tonight. Their 3 super subs are on the floor right now. Anthony Carter, J.R. Smith, and Chris Anderson.
Foul was on Antoine Wright. That's his 4th, and Carmelo Anthony makes it a 5-point game. J.J. Barea with the basketball, along with Bass, Terry, Singleton, and Antoine Wright. Trying to give the core of the Mavericks some rest. They had to do a lot of heavy work tonight without Josh Howard. Nowitzki and Terry certainly. Terry's still out on the floor. Saved. Wright makes a move, spinning. Finds Singleton open for 3. Too strong on the weak side. Martin has it.
Nice penetrating pitch by Antoine Wright.
Anthony in the lane, one-handed. Technical foul, Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle's really upset. They're fighting to hang in. His best player sitting on the bench. His second best player sitting in the locker room. He knows they need a near-perfect quarter. Watch Carmelo Anthony going to the basket. It's pretty good contact. I think that's what Rick was upset about. Knocked the defender back about 6 feet. Monty McCutcheon didn't agree.
12-5 run by the Nuggets. 15 points for Carmelo Anthony. Dallas, a team that has lost 11 of their last 13 road playoff games, and after a slow start this year, 2-7, 0-4 at home. And Rick Carlisle just a great job in implementing his style, making the necessary adjustments. But it is fourth quarter time.
Well, more importantly, Matt, you got Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry on the bench. There's no offense on the floor for the Dallas Mavericks. Rick recognizes that. He's got Dirk back at the scorer's table right now.
Kid, Barea, Singleton, Wright, and Bass. Birdman, short, Nene. Carter comes down with it.
Birdman was short, but the Dallas team on the floor is even shorter right now.
And a reach-in foul. Foul on Jason Kidd. And Dirk Nowitzki's going to check back in. Nowitzki tonight with 30 points on 10 of 17. As we send it over to Marty.
Well, Matt, Dirk Nowitzki being out of the game just now, coming back in was actually by design and requested by him. He told me at the end of game 1 he had nothing left. Coach thinks it has to do with the altitude, but Dirk said, I've got to rest at the beginning of the 4th if I want to have anything left at the end of the game.
Carmelo Anthony, shot not there, loose ball foul.
George Karl's going to be as upset with that as Rick Carlisle was with the previous call.
Fourth foul on Anderson. Nowitzki had 2 points in game 1 in the fourth quarter.
Rick Carlisle talked to us before the game about the problems playing in this city with altitude. He's a former player in the league. Byron Scott told us the same things in the first round.
Anderson on Nowitzki. Nowitzki attacking. Has him up in the air, fading. J.R. Smith. Pass on Anthony with Wright. Anthony in traffic, knocked away. Here's Barea. Kick out, Kidd has his feet set. 3 doesn't go, and Birdman has the rebound. Frantic pace. Nene
with 2 good looks, but they couldn't finish. Denver feeds off that. Dirk Nowitzki one-on-one with the Birdman, tries to get around him. Bird left his feet early, but Dirk unable to finish. Here comes Denver running right back down your throat. Again, that's the problem. If you don't make them take the ball out of bounds, you're constantly backpedaling, trying to catch your breath in this building.
Nene with 19 points, following up a playoff career best 24-point performance in game 1. And 18 in the first half, 14 in that second quarter. And last year he played a total of 30 minutes in the postseason, spread out over 3 games, coming back from testicular cancer. And he battled a torn ACL back in 2005, 2006. And over the course of 3 years, he was out for 165 games. But here he is. What an impact. What a story.
The player they thought they had when they signed him from Brazil. He's had an excellent year. If anything, he's continuing to improve.
21 points for Nene. Denver by 10. Dallas turns it over. Carmelo to the rack.
My idol. How you doing? Hey, man. I'm getting ready to make a video game with Dr. J and Magic. Yeah? What kind of video game, Chuck? What's the name of this video game? The Old School. You get to play the old school legends when they're old. Hey, man, quit laughing. You're getting old, too.
Hang up the phone, Barkley. I'm taking you to the hole.
I gotta call you back.
Who's in your fave 5? My faves. Only from T-Mobile.
TNT, June 16th.
Nurses are the heartbeat of the hospital.
What do you need? Thanksgiving off, half-day Christmas?
It's a deal. These are the people that do extraordinary things.
Hawthorne, new series premiere June 16th.
Only on TNT, we know drama.
The stimulus package is approved, and the time has arrived for you to make that smart car buying decision. Silterhar Motors in Broomfield is offering financing as low as 0% on all new 2009 Ford Fusions. We have a huge selection, great financing, and a product with top-notch quality, all from a dealer you can trust. Silterhar Motors, where perfection is taking care of every customer, every day, better than anyone else.
It's time for Gatorade Around the Cooler. Here's Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, Nene has certainly been a big factor for the Nuggets tonight and in Game 1. 24 in Game 1, 21 tonight. But it was an August 15th meeting with George Karl that really set the season going for Nene. In that meeting, Karl told Nene, you need to be a better basketball citizen for the Nuggets. Show up at practice, show up as a good teammate, and 5 days later, Nene showed up and has been in the gym 5 days a week ever since. Obviously a big factor in the regular season, and I don't think they would be up in the position to win the second game without him in these first 2 games. Matt?
Marty, you look at Nene, Kenyon Martin, Chris Anderson. They are tough with those 3 bigs, and as Rick Carlisle told us before the game from an athletic standpoint. He said, what, the Lakers in Denver, possibly two most athletic teams in the league?
Well, it's the combination of size and length that can get up and down the floor. And you combine that with playing in this building, the altitude and the aggressive tone that George Karl sets. They're very difficult to deal with. Nene just is a very tough matchup for Dallas. He averaged 17 and 7 and 3. He only played 3 regular season games. He's killed them in the first 2 games here in the playoffs.
Layup for Carmelo Anthony. 11-2 run to start this fourth quarter. Dallas went scoreless for 3 minutes and 45 seconds prior to the Brandon Bass bucket. Anthony with 9 already in the quarter. Had a great performance in game 1 in the fourth quarter. Bass has it knocked away. Here's Kidd. They need the 3. Smith flies in, can't handle it. And now Nowitzki touches it last. And Dirk Nowitzki stating his case. Monty McCutcheon says no, it's Denver basketball.
He should save his win because he and Jason Terry look very, very tired. That's why Dirk was upset. It was off Denver.
Dallas won for their last 8. 49 points with Nowitzki and Terry. No Howard in fourth quarter has been owned by Denver. And a foul.
Well, much as it was on Sunday, it's been all Denver. 11-2, 1 for 7 from the field for the Dallas Mavericks. George Karl kept telling his team, relax, we're a fourth quarter team. We're going to wear them down. And again, overstating the obvious, take Josh Howard out of the mix. It was a very tall order for Dallas.
Bass picked up the foul. Another stat that's been glaring in this series. 6-0 in fast break points. Nene right at the buzzer in this quarter. 6-0. And in this series now, PJ, 52-11 fast break points. Denver to Dallas.
Dallas in the regular season was a pretty good fast break team, ranked number 6 in the league. They've been unable to do that at all, mainly because they've been unable to stop Denver, and they're constantly taking the ball out of bounds.
Kidd loses it. Carmelo Anthony gets tied up by J.J. Barea. And Mike Callahan races in, but Carmelo nods his head to J.J. Barea.
Somebody else could have handled that a lot differently. Carmelo Anthony, nice way right there, completely diffuses any potential situation right there.
Nothing can diffuse this crowd. They are into it. Anthony. 20 points.
Well, it's beyond the home court advantage. Denver's playing extremely well offensively and defensively, whether they're home or away. But this building in particular, the way they're playing right now, you have to stay with them or build up a lead for 3 quarters, because again, he can play so many people, they get so much of a lift. And again, for me to hear 2 former players in the league, Byron Scott and Rick Carlisle, talk about the altitude and how difficult it is for their players to come in here and play, it's a big, big home court advantage for the Denver Nuggets.
Carmelo Anthony and Nene have all 14 of Denver's points in this quarter. And a foul on Carmelo, his 3rd.
Understand, the home court advantage is meaningless unless they play offense and defense the way these guys are playing defense. They're taking advantage of the circumstance.
Well, this defense, when you look at what they've done in the postseason, limiting teams to 86 points coming into tonight. Nene on the run out.
Jason Terry short on the 3.
Limit Dallas to 1 and done. Nene running the floor. Nene with 25, a new playoff career high.
You Mr. Brown?
Curtis Brown.
Hi.
Yeah. Mr. Brown.
Kurt?
Hey. I'm Curtis. Batman.
Hey, Walker. Uncle Brown.
Brown and Payne are now back-to-back for the new season premiere of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns, right after brand new episodes of House of Payne, Wednesday, May 27th, starting at 8.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
To us.
Kingons. Oh, my BK Star Trek glasses. Why don't you just take my girlfriend while you're at it?
Awesome.
Nice work, Tiberius.
Star Trek movie glasses, $1.99 each with any BK value meal. Collect them all before the Klingons do.
Connect to everything you love in life with the new BlackBerry Curve 8900.
I said, how'd you like the show? She said I was very amused. I started throwing bass, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. I called her room, got picked up again. I called her in, I said, yo, who was that? Oh, he's just a friend. Don't give me that. Don't even give me that. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just...
DirecTV is doing very well in customer satisfaction. What do we do?
I learned this in business school when I read about business school in a book. We can't improve our service, but we can improve the price. We can make it higher.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We'll get the people with disposable income, and they can dispose of it to us.
And they don't watch TV. They're workaholics.
They wouldn't know HD if they'd sat in their lap and called them mama.
Now you can save $21 a month for an entire year. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
The 2009 NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by AutoTrader.com. Search the largest selection of cars and you'll find the car you want at the price you want. AutoTrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace. By BlackBerry. Check out Reggie's Mailbag at NBA.com/Reggie's Mailbag. By Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by DirecTV.
The Denver Nuggets care about the community. Recently, Nene took a group of young cancer patients on a fun-filled shopping spree at a local sporting goods store. Nene, who is a cancer survivor, gave the youngsters special words of encouragement to help raise their spirits while they undergo difficult cancer treatment. The NBA, where caring happens. And Nene, over the first two games of this series, has just been spectacular. 24 points, playoff career best, and then he tops that tonight. And Carmelo Anthony and Nene here in the fourth quarter have been spectacular. 16-2 this quarter. Denver outscoring Dallas. And once again, getting it done on the defensive end, turning over Dallas, getting out and running, one and done shots.
Run came almost at the very same time. Early in the fourth quarter, they forced the turnovers. They kick in their game. They have fresher bodies on the floor. With 6 minutes left tonight, 17-point game. 6 minutes left on Sunday. It was a 15-point game. Dallas was never able to get back in it.
And a foul charged to Nene. And you look at game one storyline to game two storyline with the turnovers.
They did a good job in the second quarter. That got him back in the game. No turnovers. Basically, the first half of both games, they could live with the turnovers. But again, as fatigue sets in, the fresher bodies on the floor. George doesn't play a deep bench. He usually only plays 8 or 9 players. Linus Clays has barely played tonight. It's really 8 guys, but they're 8 guys that are in superior shape, and they can play at the tempo that he wants.
In the playoffs, number one in forcing turnovers at 18.7. Also number one in points off of turnovers, 25.5 DJ.
That's a dangerous combination. Sometimes people can create turnovers, then what are you going to do with it? This team cashes them in on the other end.
Billups, his third three. Right, oh, what an unbelievable shot. Over the shoulder, underneath the bucket. All turned around. Billups. Shot too strong. Nowitzki taps it out to Kidd. Kidd thought about it, gives it up. Here's Dirk firing. Got it from deep. Nowitzki with 35.
3 straight three-point shooters right there. Jason Terry says no. Jason Kidd says no. Dirk Nowitzki says yes. A lot of firepower from the perimeter.
Nene on the inside. The Birdman flies in and taps it up and through.
Jason Kidd's upset because he thought Bird grabbed the backboard with his right hand.
Jumper for Antoine Wright over Nene, and 10 points now for Wright.
Dallas is settled in on this end of the floor, Matt. If they don't get stops, though, they can't get back in it. Obviously, they can't afford to trade baskets.
107-94 with 4:16 remaining here in the fourth quarter for Rick Carlisle's team.
Antoine Wright has looked a lot more comfortable tonight. That's a spectacular shot right there, going to the basket. But he's been much more productive than he was in game one, on an 8.5 degree of difficulty on that shot.
Nene with a career night in the postseason, 25 points, getting a round of applause as he checks out. Carmelo gets fouled. He's headed to the free throw line. Carmelo Anthony with 20 points. With 4:07 to go. And get the family together, PJ, for brand new episodes of Tyler Perry's House of Pain, followed by the new season of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns, Wednesday, May 27th, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, only on TBS.
Very funny.
Very funny. 14-point game. How about the fourth quarter performances by Carmelo Anthony? 14 in game one. He now has 12 here in game two in the fourth.
Let's face it, most games in the NBA are going to be decided in the fourth. When you have a closer, somebody that can really slam the door shut, and Denver has a number of them, it makes a huge difference. Carmelo Anthony has been very fresh and very productive both fourth quarters.
Kidd will take the three, and Anthony able to grab his fifth rebound. Chauncey Billups sends it to Mark. Carter, extra pass. Carmelo! Oh, my! Carmelo Anthony from downtown. 112-94.
Some teams don't play well when they're ahead. Some teams play better when they're ahead. This is a killer front-runner team right here.
15 in the quarter, 15 of his 25, PJ.
Chauncey Billups takes a hit. Now watch the ball movement. Kenyon Martin outside. Anthony Carter. Rainbow three from Carmelo from Syracuse, New York.
And Terry at the free throw line. It's been 1 year in Syracuse. Won a title with Jim Boeheim. Extremely generous. Donated $3 million to the university, along with Steve Smith, the largest two donations to their alma mater by a professional athlete. Steve Smith donated $3 million to Michigan State University. Carmelo Anthony.
Beautiful practice center. I believe it's going to be called the Anthony Center at Syracuse, housing the offices and obviously the practice facilities for Syracuse basketball program.
Here he is once again. You feeling it? Too strong, second chance look. Here's Chauncey Billups. Bye-bye, Billups. Another three for Chauncey Billups. He has 18, the largest lead for Denver. Nowitzki in the lane, no. Martin gives it to Carter. Billups, a George Washington High School product. About 15 minutes from here at the Pepsi Center. Went to Boulder, Colorado, University of Colorado 2 years, and now back home in Denver. And what a difference he has made for this franchise, Ryan Hollins.
That's something that Dallas sorely needs. Kick it out to Jason Kidd. Get some people running the floor. They've not been able to do it in the first 2 games.
Timeout, George Karl. Denver up. They're loving it in the Mile High City. All right, Western Conference brackets. Houston, big game tomorrow. Game 2 as they lead the Lakers 1-0 in Denver. 157 away from taking a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Mavericks here in the Western Conference semifinals.
Interesting looking at game 3 is not until Saturday. Normally, Matt, you'd say that's too long to be off. Dallas probably can use the extra time off. Josh Howard obviously injured. Eric Dampier bothering him. Couple days to regroup, rest their main players. Could be a plus for Dallas. And let's not forget, Denver has looked overpowering, but Dallas 17-1 since the All-Star break in American Airlines.
Anderson loses it, and 32-9 after that 0-4 start. That's what they finished up at home, 32-9.
We should point out 17-1 since the All-Star break, but guess who that one was? Back on March 27th, Denver 103-101 over Dallas.
Gerald Green on the floor. And Carmelo Anthony doing it once again in the 4th quarter. 25 points. And Chauncey Billups with 18 big threes for Chauncey Billups here in the 4th. Carmelo with 15 of his 25 in the 4th quarter. And Chauncey got it rolling. And Billups second in the postseason from downtown. 3-point shooting. Better than 63%. And here comes the Birdman, Chris Anderson. They love him here. And rightfully so. 8 points and 9 rebounds. Actually got the nickname Birdman back in 2002 during the Nuggets Summer League up in Salt Lake City, Utah. So didn't like it at first, but Kenny Satterfield and Junior Harrington, Satterfield out of University of Cincinnati and Junior Harrington out of Wingate University, kept on throwing the ball up at the rim, and he was flying in, dunking it. And so they said, you're flying like a bird. And he became Birdman.
Should ask Marty, do you think his haircut is aerodynamically superior? Maybe the way he combs his hair allows him to fly higher and quicker?
He's got the faux hawk going. He's got all the different looks.
It's the spoiler effect.
Marty and he use the same gel, I understand. J.J. Barea. Over Johan Petro.
Rick Carlisle's got to be pleased with his complementary players, the way they stepped up. He needs to get his main guys healthy and then hopefully regroup at home.
Linus Glazer. Denver is going to take a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Mavericks. Here in the Western Conference semifinals. Last time they went to the Western Conference semifinals, 1994, they lost in 7 games to Utah. Matt Carroll on the floor for Dallas. With Singleton, Bass, Barea, and Green. Shot clock down to 5. Dante Jones, bump, ball, out of bounds. And if you're Rick Carlisle in Dallas, you got it down for 3 quarters. But no Josh Howard tonight. The rest and the days off certainly will benefit him.
It will, but they have to get a handle defensively. You look at the score by quarters tonight. The Nuggets 30 points in the first quarter, 28 in the second, 28 in the third, 30 and counting here in the fourth, 31 in the fourth. They just have not been able to slow Denver down at all. They can't outscore them. Somehow they got to get a defensive stronghold and limit their scoring. I didn't feel that the Houston Rockets could outscore the Lakers, but what they did was they defended them. They brought the Lakers back to them. That's what Dallas is going to have to do against Denver. Somehow get them down in the low 90s to mid 90s. When Denver scores 100, they're basically unbeatable.
11.9 tenths of a second remaining here in game 2. George Karl telling us that back in February he looked at the Lakers and then looked around and said, you know what, there's an opening there. And he felt that his team was possibly one of 3 or 4 teams that could really grab a hold in the Western Conference. So right now the Denver Nuggets take a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Mavericks in this Western Conference semifinals as they take game 2, 117-105. And once again, a dominant fourth quarter by the Nuggets as we send it over to Marty.
And Matt, as you mentioned, 15 points in the fourth quarter of his 25 for Carmelo Anthony. And for a guy who told me at halftime, you felt pretty awful. You looked pretty good to me. Did the adrenaline kick in or what?
I just kept telling myself, don't feel nothing. Just go out there and just play. Try to get some easy back.